After more than an hour of heated discussions among board members, the Winnebago County Board votes to give the BMO Center $2 million over the next 5 years.
WIFR News reporter Anthony Ferretti was at tonight's meeting and talks with board members on both sides of the debate on their decision.
The BMO Center opened in the 1980s as the Metro Center. In 2006, it was in need of a renovation, so the Winnebago County Board entered into a 20-year agreement for $23 million in upgrades.
12 yes, 7 no.
Very good. The resolution is approved.
$2 million Winnebago County tax dollars will be used by the Rockford Area Venues and Entertainment Authority over the next 5 years to ensure the BMO Center is a top facility. The county board voted in favor of this Thursday.
It's a critical destination point in our community, whether you live in Rockford, Illinois, or whether you live in Cherry Valley, whether you live in Durand.
The current 20-year agreement with the City of Rockford and the Metro Center Authority is for $23 million in updates, including a state-of-the-art scoreboard, the Ice Hogs as the city's AHL team, and an affiliation with the Chicago Blackhawks. John Sweeney is the chair of the Economic Development Committee and supports his proposal.
Facilities like this typically require some kind of help from the municipalities in which they're located in. That's not unique to our area, but what is unique to our area is that ours is doing so well.
But it was met with discussion and debate from various county board members, including Jim Webster.
When do we subsidize entertainment? So should we do that for bowling alleys?
Webster says he applauds the BMO Center and its success, but he believes the taxpayers' money could be better spent on other needed improvements, including for a bridge in his district or for River Bluff Nursing Home.
I should not be subsidizing any payment to make it available for others. That's not my job. My job is to watch the taxpayer's dollar.
The board also passed an amendment with this decision, saying they will be a junior partner in this agreement, meaning the city of Rockford will invest more into this than Winnebago County.
Thank you, Anthony. And for those who couldn't be at the meeting tonight and want to hear more from the board, the full meeting is on Winnebago County IL's YouTube page under live videos.
Colin